Here, was taking a look at Netflix. Yesterday was all about the inside bar play, and we tested that complete range almost within the first 10 minutes. So we didn't break either direction initially, and bulls tried to capitalize on a little bit of strength, hoping for that break, but ultimately just saw a 5-minute crash, broke through that inside bar support, had a little bounce, rejected from EMA 12, and this showed us the direction that the bulls and bears were going to go today. Go to the 5-minute time frame. We almost got into oversold territory, so a little bit of a bounce in the 5-minute time frame, but the die was cast and we saw downside moves continually to the low of the day. We barely changed the trend on the 5-minute time frame. Probably didn't even do it on the 15. No, we did not. Consistently setting these lower lows, lower highs until ultimately we were able to change the 5-minute trend here. 287, managing to get over that 290.66 resistance and changing that trend toward the end of the day. But there is a good example of how to trade an inside bar, watching for that range, looking at support and resistance coming into play, finally one of those breaking, getting that oversold bounce into downside continuation. So what's on deck for tomorrow? Well, we have support down at 288, and then we're also going to look for support at today's low a day. And right now we expect that to continue. So we did see a little bit of a bounce right around that level. So I'm not going to be discounting this completely. If you really want to be technical about it, that support is 287.20, but it is a range of support and resistance. Somewhere down here, we've got something to rely on. Should we lose that level, we're going to go to the weekly time frame for support, and we don't have anything to 231.23 on the weekly time frame. So you might be able to carve out something from way back if you go back here on the daily, but we're in gap territory, guys. So should we lose these levels, we could move fairly significantly, fairly quickly for a short play on Netflix. So going back to the daily time frame, what's on deck? 288 support, 287.20 support, and bulls really need to get over that double top 296.95. Should they do that, they got to watch out for that nice EMA 12 on the daily and establish a little bit of support here and hopefully change things around. Hey guys, taking a look at Tesla now. Tesla opened outside the range of today's inside bar. And when you open outside the range of the inside bar, you don't get that opportunity to smash through the level with conviction coming at it from inside. It's simply gone and might come into play later. It might not. But when you open outside, I really stop playing it as an inside bar and just play it as what it is. It's just new price action. And today resulted in a lot of volatility. We did manage to set a new higher low on the last 3 days. So today's low is going to be important for tomorrow. Our EMA is coming down. We're starting to get confined range here, and we have a daily support. Well, let's move that. $211 is a key support for us, and then today's low day, 212.03. So we'll be paying close attention to that. And today's high of day, 218.80, is going to be coming into play as well. So far, everything is bearish. It's nice to have the support being established here, but we need to see some signs of strength, and I just don't see that quite yet. 4-hour time frame, possibly setting a new lower high here at 218.80, and bulls need to get up over that level and establish a new higher low over 212.03 to slowly and hopefully change things around. And on the hourly time frame, starting to see the inklings of strength. We're getting our higher highs, the last one 218.80, like I said, and now we've got a higher low. Bulls need to continue that strength and convert this hourly uptrend into a 4-hour uptrend. Until that happens, we are still looking pretty bearish on Tesla. You guys taking a look at Apple. Apple opened outside the range of our inside bar, and we've got a kind of confusing pattern here. Here we've got an inside bar. This is a bullish Harami pattern. Great. We did open higher. Okay. Sort of followed through. But now we've got a bearish engulfing pattern, which is setting up a major downside move. So if you're looking at Apple and you're not sure how to read this, don't worry. It is a confusing chart. Right now, this is all downside because we've got multiple days of bearish activity. This was our bullish chance. Bulls did what they could. They got a higher open. They managed to push the price up a bit, but clearly bears are in control of this narrative, and they're going to be driving home that concept tomorrow. Low day support 203.53, and then we're also going to be looking to low day support from the 23rd, 201 psychological. 4-hour time frame. We have possibly setting a higher low. We need to see what the birds are going to do tomorrow. 201 support, like I said, but this is still in bearish control. Here is our drop. Here is our almost oversold bounce. If we go to the hourly time frame, we no doubt got that bounce here and a little bit of a pop. And now we're waiting to see if we can control what is going on. Right now we've got a new low. It's a higher low over 201, but we need to see if bulls can hold this level. And they need to get a higher low over it and then get back up over this high, which is now hidden behind the charts, 206 psychological. Should they get that and get to establish another higher low, which would look something like this, we need to get over 208.55 to regain control on the daily time frame. But yes, right now, very much a bearish engulfing candlestick. And that suggests to me that despite being in this range, there is more bearish pressure on Apple right now. We'll have to see what the rest of the tech sector does, but everyone looks like they're just sort of waiting around to see what the markets are going to do. But yes, a little bit of confusing pattern on Apple today. We're playing it very cautiously, watching smaller time frames for some sort of indication of that activity. But that is all she wrote for Apple today. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Hey guys, taking a look at Amazon today. We have reaffirmed that we've established this base of support. It's a fuzzy area of support. So zone of support and resistance is a phrase that I like to use a lot. Lots of times people will just play exact price points. I don't like to do that. I want to look at this and say, look, we've got an area of support that we need to be paying attention to. And I'm trying to find out where my shapes are. Let's look at this. All right, this makes more sense. Let's draw it in as a rectangle. And we're going to, oh, we got to get it correctly. There we go. So somewhere in here is that zone of support. We keep getting into this area and then bouncing out of it. So each time we hit a new low and recover from it, we're going to modify our zone of support. But we know that in general, at least going back to August 5th, and we can use a temporary rule that says if we dip into this territory, we could expect a bounce based on what we've seen historically. So a lot of TA is based on historical happenstance and the assumption that history is going to repeat itself. So here we are, we have a low of day support at 1743.51. Today we saw a big attack by the bears. Bulls managed to recover a little bit, but we set a new higher low, so that is important on the daily time frame. Still very much bearish. On the 4-hour time frame, here we see this tightening range. There's a little bit of an EQ, probably looks better on the hourly, but we have resistance at 1740, and we have a current support right in the dipping down into that area, that zone of resistance, low of 1746.68. So we see that we have area of resistance up here as well. We need to be paying attention to on the hourly time frame and then paying special attention to everything that happens inside this zone. Really, whoever breaks first is going to be the short-term winner, and it will have a big impact on the daily time frame. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but I would be watching these levels far more than I'm going to be paying attention to the daily candlestick, because the daily candlestick is a result of what happens inside this big battleground that we're watching develop right now.